Everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So today we're going to play with bezeling any size round cabochon using a peyote bezel. So recently I made a tutorial where I bezeled a 25mm round cabochon, and that was the glow-in-the-dark one. So many of you asked me how I figured out the starting number of Delicas for that 25mm round cab. One way is to search online, and you'll find a number of commonly used stones and the amount of Delicas for your first two rounds of your peyote bezel. The most common size round stones you'll find, I think, are about a 12mm, 14mm, or an 18mm. But what if you have a 25mm round stone, or a 35, or a 40? So what do you do then? Another way would be to string a number of Delicas on your thread, wrap this around your stone, and count the amount that fits the outside perimeter of the stone. Now I have a video showing you how to do this, so I'll link that in the description box below the video for you. But what if there was a formula you could use to quickly find out the number of Delicas for your first two rounds? So I'm going to show you that next. Share with you this simple little book called the Peyote Stitch Companion. Now I've had this by Interweave and Melinda Barta, and I've had this book forever, and it's all simple peyote, and it shows you how to do all different kinds of peyote stitches in the round, flat, etc. And it's just a great little book, and I've been beading for years and years, and I still refer back to this book. Looking at the bezel chapter, and here I marked it so I can get to it easily. So here's bezel overview, so you see that, and it shows you here, and it says bezeling a crystal Rivoli, so it gives you all the information. I mean, just so much info here, but there's this little box here that I always have ignored in the past, and it's a secret to starting. So I'll read it real quick. When working with different size Rivolis, use the simple equation to determine how many Delica cylinder beads you need in your starting ring for rounds 1 and 2. So it works for Delicas, it says, because they are very consistent in sizing. So you multiply the size of the Rivoli in millimeters by 2.5, and the result is the magic number of beads to use. So for example, for a 12mm Rivoli, multiply 12 by 2.5 for a total of 30 beads, and that will be your starting round 1 and 2. If the total number is odd, add 1. So if you have an 18mm Rivoli, multiply by 2.5 for 45 beads, and you'd add 1 more to make it your even 46 beads for rounds 1 and 2. So how brilliant is that? Okay, we're going to pick out a few of our round Rivolis, or I'm not using Rivolis, I'm just using cabochons. It works for cabochons too, so it doesn't have to be Rivoli. And I thought, well, can we just pick some odd sizes and see how that goes? Now look at this guy, I already did this guy. This is gorgeous. This stone, I'll link it it's actually a clay cabochon. It's so pretty, and I think this is like a 35 or 36mm. I use that formula to bezel this one. I have a coin here, a couple of coins. I have different sizes here that may be like not quite for, maybe it's a 16mm or such, and you can't find that common size online, or you don't want to do the string around with the beads. This is so easy. All right, so let's pick a stone and we'll give it a try. Let's start out with our 20mm cabochon. So I know it's 20mm because when I ordered it, I ordered a 20mm cabochon. But if you're like me and sometimes you pull them out of their bags and you don't put them back in and you're not sure of the size, just use your caliper. So here we go. We have a 20mm round cabochon. This little formula. So 20 times 2.5 equals 50 Delicas. So this is what I need for my first two rounds of peyote for my 20mm cabochon. So let me try it. I picked up 50 of my Delicas, and I'm just going to place them around the stone, and they should meet pretty closely around the outside of the stone. So let me just pull them in like that, and look at that. Okay, that is perfect. So you're going to need 50 Delicas for your 20mm round stone. Let's try another one. 25mm cabochon. So I've already done this, so I know it works. However, this is a good one if you haven't seen that video. That was the glow-in-the-dark one. So I'm going to do 25, that's the millimeter size, times 2.5 equals 62.5. So you want to round up. So you don't want to round down, you want to round up. So I'm going to go to 63, but that's an odd number. I need an even, so I'm going to go up again to 64. So I'm going to try 64 beads. Now, like I said, I know it works, but we'll do it again for those of you who haven't seen that video. Here are my 64 beads. I'm going to bring those around. Just pull them right next to each other, like so. And that is perfect. So 64 for the 25 millimeter. I have a 15 millimeter cabochon. Now a 14 millimeter round, let's say Rivoli or cabochon, I know takes 36, but this is a 15 millimeter. So let's see. So 15 times 2.5 equals 37.5. So I need 38. So let's try it out and see what happens. So just an interesting comparison. This is a 14 millimeter cabochon. This is a 15. So look at the difference 1 millimeter makes. So let's check it out and see if these 38 beads fit around the 15 millimeter, and then we'll do the 36 on the 14. 38 beads. Let's wrap them around. And give it a little pull inward. And that is absolutely perfect. A little tighter, there you go. Yeah, look at that. That's perfect. So I need 38 Delicas for this 15 millimeter round stone. 36. And that is perfect. So you really, I mean, sometimes you think 1 millimeter is not going to make a difference, but that's 1 millimeter all the way around, which makes it much bigger than you think. So that's interesting, isn't it? I'll share with you this gorgeous cabochon, and this is a handmade clay cabochon from the folks at Beading School, and these are so stunning, absolutely gorgeous. I'll link those down below for you if you're interested, along with everything else if I can find where all the cabs are from. So this one was 36 millimeters, so 36 times 2.5 equals 90, and that's exactly what I used for my first 2 rounds of peyote for this particular size stone. Okay, so that was very cool, wasn't it? So that little formula really works for figuring out your first 2 rounds of Delicas for a round stone or Rivoli. And this book is great. I would recommend this book very highly. It doesn't matter how experienced you are. This book is chock full of info, all about beads, all about different size beads, and then also basic beading techniques. Look at all this. Even goes to threading a needle. So if you're a real beginner, it's great. But also if you're an experienced beader, it's great because there are, look at all this. There are really some more advanced stitches here, and all kinds of, and different size beads, tila beads, tile beads, super duos, and just freeform peyote. I mean, it is just chock full of info, and every time I look at it, I find something else that I learned something new. So here you go. I will link everything in the, well, not everything, just the book in the description box below the video. I'll link this really pretty cab and these glow-in-the-dark cabs if you haven't seen that, and maybe some, if I can find some stones, semi-precious stones that I could link for you also. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was informative. So take care, and I'll see you next time.